Explosive drama rocks Genoa City as betrayals and desperate choices collide. Sienna risks everything to stop Matt, but her sacrifice fails when he detonates a fiery gas station explosion with lives on the line. Meanwhile, Nick's addiction spirals dangerously out of control, leaving his fate uncertain. Kane delivers shocking, life-altering news that could change everything. Victor turns up the pressure in his ongoing power struggle, while Sally is blindsided by unexpected developments. Tensions rise across the board, setting the stage for chaos, emotional fallout, and major twists in the days ahead. Welcome to A Mysterious Time TV, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we explore the fascinating world of Young and the Restless, uncovering untold stories and hidden truths behind the headlines. Explosive betrayals and desperate deals, Sienna's sacrifice fails as Matt strikes anyway. Tuesday's episode of The Young and the Restless, which aired April 28, 2026, delivered a tense mix of emotional confrontations, dangerous gambles, and shocking revelations. From Genoa City to the Nevada desert, multiple storylines collided as lives hung in the balance and loyalties were pushed to their limits. Phyllis faces prison fears while seeking Daniel's help. At Summer's conglomerate, Phyllis is on edge, pacing anxiously in her office as the weight of her situation sinks in. When Lauren arrives to check on her, Phyllis vents her frustration over Michael's suggestion that she accept Victor's offer. She's even considering withdrawing her proposal to make him head of her legal team. Lauren urges her not to dismiss Michael so quickly, but Phyllis remains doubtful. Given Michael's long history of enabling Victor's tactics, she questions whether he can truly defend her. She also points out the complicated situation involving his wife's indirect connection to the case, though Lauren clarifies that she only became involved after the company had already been taken. Despite Lauren's reassurance that she's committed, Phyllis worries that if Victor regains control, he'll drag Lauren down with her. Determined to stay on top, Phyllis insists she won't back down, yet she admits she's terrified of going to prison. Their discussion is interrupted when Daniel arrives. Though he makes it clear he came because she sounded distressed, not to forgive her, Phyllis takes comfort in his presence. She explains that she's at risk of losing everything and shows him the evidence Victor has compiled against her. However, Daniel refuses to align himself with her plan. He bluntly states that since she did, in fact, take the company, Victor's actions seem justified. While he doesn't want her to go to prison, he insists he's already offered the only solution he believes will work: give the company back. As tensions rise, Phyllis stops him from leaving and reveals her real motive. She wants him to convince Danny to keep Christine from taking the case as district attorney. Daniel is stunned and disappointed. He criticizes her refusal to make things right and suggests that her actions have caused enough chaos that she might deserve the consequences. Though shocked, Phyllis denies that he truly wants her jailed. Lauren steps in, defending Phyllis by pointing out that her actions aren't much different from what powerful men in their world routinely do in business. After Phyllis leaves the room, Lauren quietly admits to Daniel that the case against her is serious. Daniel, shaken, confesses that the idea of his mother in prison genuinely frightens him. Victor stands firm: no negotiations. At the Newman Ranch, Victor, Victoria, and Michael discuss the deal offered to Phyllis. Victor is already irritated that the paperwork hasn't been signed and shows no interest in hearing a counterproposal. The conversation quickly becomes heated. Victoria questions whether Michael is simply stalling, emphasizing that their terms are straightforward: Phyllis must return the company or face legal consequences. Victor confidently states that with Christine serving as district attorney, Phyllis doesn't stand a chance. Michael acknowledges that Christine's involvement has made Phyllis hesitant but expresses faith that she will uphold the law fairly. He also points out that this battle is as much about pride for Phyllis as it is for Victor. Victor refuses to budge. Declaring no negotiations, he storms out, leaving Victoria amused by the exchange. Adam's confession as Nick's condition worsens. Meanwhile, at Matt's hideout, a life-threatening crisis unfolds. Nick collapses, barely conscious, as Adam, Sharon, and Noah struggle to help him, while Sharon and Noah remain chained. Nick manages to mumble something about taking stronger pills before fading further. Watching through surveillance cameras, Matt realizes Nick has likely taken a dangerous dose. Adam tries to keep Nick alert, but his breathing becomes labored. Sharon urges Adam to get help, but he refuses to abandon them. Instead, he finds bolt cutters and frees Sharon and Noah. As Nick's condition deteriorates, his skin cold and clammy, Sharon demands answers about the pills. Adam finally admits he was with Nick when he took them and suspects they contained fentanyl. Under pressure, Adam explains that Nick was struggling with withdrawal and took the pills just to get through the rescue, with plans to seek treatment afterward. He also reveals that Matt had initially gotten Nick hooked during his captivity. Sharon isn't convinced the timeline adds up. For withdrawal to hit this hard, Nick must have been using for longer than Adam claims. Adam reluctantly agrees, leaving more questions than answers. Sienna tracks Matt through the desert. Elsewhere, Sienna speeds through the desert at night, determined to find the gas station where Sharon and Noah are being held. Her urgency spikes when she notices a vehicle following her. She abruptly stops, scanning her surroundings, aware that time is running out. Matt reveals his deadly plan. Back at a Las Vegas hotel suite, Risa grows frustrated with Chelsea's anxious pacing when Matt calls. He reveals that Adam and Nick showed up at the gas station, suggesting someone has been lying. More interested in boasting than explaining, Matt claims he has everything under control. When pressed, he cryptically admits he plans to destroy the gas station, with the Newmans inside. After the call ends, Risa hesitates but eventually tells Chelsea what she's learned. Chelsea is horrified and pleads with Risa to intervene, but Risa insists it's pointless. Matt already suspects deception. Still desperate, Chelsea urges her to try. Risa attempts to call Matt back, only to discover he's blocked her number. Left with no options, Chelsea decides to contact someone powerful enough to help. A race against time to save Nick. Back at the hideout, Adam apologizes for his role in Nick taking the pills, but Sharon pushes him to focus on getting medical help. When Noah discovers the landline is dead, panic sets in, they're completely cut off. With Nick growing weaker, Noah suggests using Adam's car to get him to safety. Working together, they manage to carry Nick outside and into the vehicle, hoping they're not already too late. Sienna makes a desperate offer. In a dramatic confrontation, Sienna finally finds Matt, sitting in his car, watching events unfold remotely. She surprises him by climbing into the passenger seat. Though startled, Matt quickly regains control, telling her to leave. Instead, Sienna pleads with him to abandon his plan. He dismisses her, reminding her that she walked away from their relationship. Refusing to give up, Sienna begs him to stop, but Matt admits he's enjoying himself too much. When he asks what she's willing to offer in return, Sienna makes a shocking proposal: she offers herself. Matt is skeptical, believing her real motive is to save Noah. Sienna insists she means it, promising they could leave everything behind and start over. She claims she has resources and no longer wants anything to do with the Newmans, insisting that Matt is the only one who truly understands her. For a brief moment, it seems like she might reach him. Instead, Matt coldly activates the detonator. Explosion rocks the gas station. Despite Sienna's emotional plea and personal sacrifice, Matt follows through with his plan, triggering a massive explosion at the gas station. The devastation appears catastrophic, leaving the fate of those inside uncertain. Victor learns the truth. Back at the Newman Ranch, Victor finds Michael still lingering and questions his presence. Michael attempts one last appeal, warning that a cornered opponent can become extremely dangerous. He even suggests negotiating a sale, hinting that others could be implicated if the situation escalates in court. Victor dismisses the argument, standing firm in his position and making it clear he expects only one outcome. Moments later, his phone rings. It's Chelsea, urgently explaining Matt's plan to target the Newman family. Victor immediately demands the location, realizing the gravity of the situation. Final thoughts. This gripping episode delivered high-stakes drama on every front. Phyllis faces the possibility of losing everything as her legal battle intensifies, while Victor remains unyielding in his pursuit of victory. Meanwhile, in the desert, lives are put at risk as Nick's condition worsens and Matt's dangerous scheme reaches its explosive climax. Sienna's desperate attempt to stop the tragedy ultimately fails, proving just how far Matt is willing to go. With the Newman family in peril and Victor now aware of the threat, the stage is set for even more dramatic fallout in the episodes ahead. Next update. Nick's addiction spirals out of control as Kane delivers life-changing news. Monday's episode of The Young and the Restless brought emotional tension and high-stakes drama, as multiple storylines collided with shocking consequences. While Devon faced a crushing legal setback, Kane revealed pivotal news, and Nick's ongoing struggle with addiction took a dangerous turn. At Crimson Lights, Kane shares a heartfelt moment with Holden, telling him they've essentially become family. Their conversation turns to Malcolm's condition, which still weighs heavily on Holden. When Kane reveals he underwent testing to see if he could be a donor, Holden questions whether his motivation is entirely selfless or tied to lingering feelings for Lily. Meanwhile, at Society, Lily is clearly preoccupied with thoughts about Kane and the donor test when Devon and Nate join her. She fills them in on Kane's actions, but Devon reacts skeptically, suggesting Kane may be using the situation to win her back. Lily is stunned by his assumption, insisting that saving Malcolm is the only thing that matters. Their disagreement escalates until Abby interrupts with a delivery from Devon's lawyer. Opening the letter, Devon is furious to learn that his appeal to overturn Mariah's plea has been denied. He vents his frustration, calling the decision unjust. His wife pushes back, accusing him of overreacting, which only fuels his anger. He lashes out, arguing that she should be equally upset that Mariah won't face serious consequences. Their heated exchange ends with her storming off. Soon after, Stephanie arrives, and Lily informs the group that Kane and Holden are on their way with important news. Elsewhere, in a deserted gas station outside Las Vegas, Matt torments Sharon and Noah, who are tied up and desperate. He mocks their pleas as each begs for the other's release. Amused by their desperation, Matt ultimately decides to leave them to fend for themselves, suggesting they may freeze or starve. Before leaving, he bids them a chilling farewell and continues monitoring them through a video feed on his phone. Sharon and Noah struggle to break free, fearing that Nick may have been manipulated into walking straight into Matt's trap. Their fears aren't unfounded. Nick is indeed heading toward the location, with Adam reluctantly accompanying him. Adam grows increasingly uneasy, regretting his decision to let Nick drive given his unstable condition. He warns Nick that he won't be able to save anyone if he ends up dead himself. Eventually, Adam convinces Nick to pull over and switch seats, urging him to take what he needs to steady himself, for now. Nick takes a pill, and Adam reassures him they'll deal with his addiction once the crisis is over. They soon arrive at the isolated garage and notice the eerie absence of vehicles. Sensing danger, Adam arms himself before they cautiously head inside. Back in a Las Vegas hotel suite, tensions rise between Chelsea and Riza. Riza needles Chelsea, mocking the fact that Adam hasn't proposed and hinting that he might be tempted by his gambling lifestyle instead. The argument intensifies as they trade personal insults, bringing up past relationships and betrayals. Their confrontation is interrupted by a knock at the door, which briefly causes alarm before they discover it's Sienna. Sienna informs them that Sharon and Noah left earlier, prompting concern that the entire situation may have been orchestrated to lure Nick into danger. Determined to act, Sienna insists on going to the garage herself, despite objections from both Chelsea and Riza. Their rare moment of agreement that it's too risky does little to stop her. Sienna refuses to trust Riza, especially given her past involvement with her husband. Back at Society, Kane and Holden finally arrive. Kane delivers the long-awaited news: he's a match for Malcolm. Relief and joy spread through the group, including Devon, despite his earlier doubts. In Las Vegas, after continued arguments, Riza finally gives in and provides Sienna with the address of Matt's hideout. Though she clearly finds Chelsea irritating, she suggests she come along anyway. The episode ends on a dramatic note at the garage. Adam and Nick force their way inside and quickly discover Sharon and Noah still restrained. As Adam searches for a way to unlock the chains, Nick grabs a nearby tool to help. But before he can act, his body betrays him. He breaks out in a cold sweat and suddenly collapses to the ground, leaving everyone's fate hanging in the balance. Next update. Young and the Restless spoilers, April 27th to May 8th, 2026. Victor applies pressure while Sally is caught off guard. The next 2 weeks on Young and the Restless promise intense confrontations, emotional turmoil, and unexpected twists. From Victor Newman tightening his grip on multiple situations to Sally Spectra being completely blindsided, the drama unfolds across Genoa City and beyond. Monday, April 27th, tensions rise as Kane's motives are questioned. Lily Winters delivers critical news to Devon Hamilton Winters and Nate Hastings. Kane Ashby has undergone testing to determine if he could serve as a donor for Malcolm Winters. While Nate and Devon also stepped up, neither proved to be a match. This revelation immediately sparks suspicion about Kane's intentions, but Lily refuses to entertain doubts. She firmly urges Devon to refocus on what truly matters, saving Malcolm's life. Devon, however, is already on edge due to his anger toward Mariah Copeland. His frustration only intensifies when Abby Newman reveals that his attempt to challenge Mariah's plea deal has been rejected. Abby criticizes Devon's behavior, warning that his obsession with revenge is negatively affecting their son, Dominic. Meanwhile, Kane shares with Holden Novak that he considers them family now and confirms he's been tested as a potential donor. Soon after, Stephanie Simmons informs Lily that the results are imminent. With Malcolm's condition worsening, everything is ready to proceed quickly once a suitable donor is confirmed. By the end of the day, Kane learns he is indeed a match, bringing a wave of hope. Danger in Vegas, a deadly trap unfolds. In Las Vegas, Matt Clark has Sharon Newman and Noah Newman trapped in an abandoned garage, handcuffed and helpless. He cruelly informs them they'll be forced to watch each other die, blaming Noah for betraying him. Though Matt leaves the scene, he sets up surveillance cameras so he can watch their suffering remotely. At the same time, Nick Newman and Adam Newman are en route to rescue them. However, Nick is clearly struggling with withdrawal symptoms. Despite his denial, Adam insists on taking over driving and urges Nick to take something to stabilize himself temporarily. Nick gives in, taking pills from his stash. When Adam breaks into the garage, Sharon and Noah reveal that Matt has already fled. But the danger is far from over. Nick suddenly collapses from an apparent overdose. As Adam rushes to help him, Matt watches the chaos unfold remotely, clearly satisfied. Hotel drama, secrets and confrontations. Back at the hotel, tensions flare between Chelsea Lawson and Risa Thompson, especially when Risa notices Chelsea isn't wearing Adam's ring. Their argument escalates until Sienna Bacall arrives, revealing Noah disappeared without her. Sienna is immediately repulsed upon meeting Risa, knowing she had an affair with Matt for years. Risa claims ignorance about Matt's double life, insisting she never knew he was married. Determined to act, Sienna demands the garage's location, explaining that Matt is not just unfaithful but dangerous, a kidnapper and would-be killer. Though shaken, Risa maintains she's finished with Matt, though her sincerity remains questionable. Tuesday, April 28th, Victor takes control as Nick hits rock bottom. Victor Newman confronts Phyllis Summers, refusing to be intimidated by her claims. Phyllis may possess evidence suggesting Victor used artificial intelligence to manipulate Kane and seize control of Arabesque, and possibly interfered with Matt's business dealings as well. Meanwhile, Nick's condition worsens. Adam, Sharon, and Noah scramble to save him as Matt watches from afar, amused by the consequences of Nick ingesting tainted drugs. The situation connects to Matt's earlier involvement with a deadly fentanyl batch that caused fatalities in Los Angeles. Sienna heads toward a gas station in pursuit of Matt, but he has already changed course. Elsewhere, Lauren Fenmore stands firm in a disagreement with Daniel Romalotti, raising questions about whether Daniel is pressuring her to distance herself from Phyllis. Wednesday, April 29th, reality hits hard. Adam urges Nick to confront the truth about his addiction, pushing him to acknowledge the severity of his situation. After ensuring Nick receives medical attention, Adam returns to the hotel, where Chelsea anxiously awaits him. Relieved he's safe, she quickly demands to know Nick's condition. At the same time, Billy Abbott surprises Sally Spectra with a romantic gesture, presenting her with a rose. With Sally expecting a child, the moment may signal something deeper than just romance. Meanwhile, Lily celebrates Kane's match and shares the good news with Stephanie and Holden. Preparations for the life-saving procedure move forward, offering hope for Malcolm's recovery. Thursday, April 30th, power plays and risky plans. Victor pressures Michael Baldwin, likely pushing him to take legal action against Phyllis and possibly Lauren. Jack Abbott unveils a bold and risky strategy involving Nikki Newman, one that could involve pretending to be romantically involved in hopes of saving their respective marriages. However, the plan carries serious potential for backlash. Christine Williams Romalotti issues a direct threat to Phyllis, signaling legal trouble ahead now that she holds authority as district attorney. Danny Romalotti also returns, possibly attempting to mediate the situation for their son's sake. Elsewhere, Patty Williams unsettles Kyle Abbott with her obsessive behavior, particularly her fixation on Jack. Friday, May 1st, truths revealed and doubts grow. Victor finally hears the truth from Nick, who may admit to struggling with addiction. Meanwhile, Victoria Newman begins crafting her defense strategy against Phyllis, suggesting the conflict between them is far from over. Sharon expresses concerns about Sienna's loyalty, questioning whether she can be trusted. This suspicion may not sit well with Noah. Week of May 4th to 8th, Sweeps Week brings high stakes. As May sweeps intensify, Nick's loved ones, including Nikki and Adam, push him toward recovery, likely encouraging rehab. Given Victor's past stance on addiction, it remains uncertain whether he will fully support this path. Matt may be heading toward Genoa City, setting the stage for a major confrontation. Although Sharon and Noah escaped the garage ordeal, the danger isn't over. A dramatic showdown looms, and it could result in a shocking death. Relationships tested and consequences unfold. Chelsea is expected to question Adam about his recent behavior, particularly regarding his connection with Riza. Their relationship may face strain as secrets come to light. Nikki may struggle with guilt, realizing she overlooked Nick's addiction while preoccupied with her own marital issues. Ironically, Sienna had noticed the warning signs earlier, but no one took her seriously. Jack and Nikki's risky plan is likely to backfire, potentially worsening their situations rather than fixing them. Meanwhile, the legal battle between Victor and Phyllis could escalate to arrests, or force both sides into an uneasy compromise. Hope and struggles ahead. Kane prepares to undergo the procedure that could save Malcolm's life, offering a rare moment of hope. However, Devon's unresolved anger threatens to damage his relationships if he cannot regain control. At the same time, Lauren may push Michael to distance himself from Victor, potentially creating further division. Over these 2 weeks, Young and the Restless delivers a gripping mix of emotional stakes, dangerous confrontations, and life-altering decisions. With secrets exposed and alliances tested, the road ahead promises even more explosive developments. Next update. The Young and the Restless recap, Tuesday, April 28th. Matt triggers fiery gas station explosion. Tuesday's episode of The Young and the Restless delivered high-stakes drama as Matt Clark set a dangerous plan into motion, leading to a devastating explosion in the desert. Meanwhile, Chelsea Lawson made a frantic call for help as the situation spiraled out of control. At the Newman Ranch, Michael Baldwin proposed a potential solution to Victor Newman's ongoing conflict with Phyllis Summers. He suggested that Victor could simply buy back his empire, but Victor firmly rejected the idea. Refusing to pay for something he believes was stolen from him, Victor made it clear he had no intention of negotiating and would only accept total victory. Elsewhere, in Phyllis's office, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin was present when Daniel Romalotti Jr. arrived after being called in by his mother. Phyllis filled Daniel in on Victor's attempt to frame her using false evidence. However, Daniel wasn't shocked by Victor's tactics and even remarked that prison might teach Phyllis a lesson. Phyllis, however, argued that she stood no chance of a fair trial with Christine Blair Romalotti serving as district attorney. Determined to fight back, she urged Daniel to convince Danny Romalotti to distract Christine, buying her time to plan a counterattack. Daniel refused to get involved, though Lauren quickly came to Phyllis's defense. After Phyllis stormed out, Daniel questioned whether Lauren could persuade her to step back from this escalating battle with Victor. In Las Vegas, tensions rose as Riza Thompson spoke with Matt over the phone. Matt was furious over Riza's betrayal but remained confident, believing he had the Newmans exactly where he wanted them. Though he spoke cryptically, Matt revealed enough to make it clear he intended to blow up a gas station, with Nick, Adam, Sharon, and Noah Newman trapped inside. Riza relayed this horrifying information to Chelsea, who panicked upon realizing the severity of the situation. Knowing time was running out, Chelsea concluded that Victor was the only one who could intervene. She quickly contacted him, warning that Matt was about to detonate the gas station with his family inside. Victor immediately instructed her to send him the exact location. Meanwhile, inside the gas station, Nick Newman was in critical condition. Adam admitted that Nick had taken pills and explained how the situation escalated after they were locked in a storage room where Nick found fentanyl. Sharon quickly realized that Nick must have already been using before that incident, given his withdrawal symptoms. Adam confessed that he had encouraged Nick to take the drugs, intending to help him recover once their ordeal was over. As Nick's condition worsened, the group struggled to keep him conscious. Sharon suggested calling an ambulance, but their options were limited. Matt had taken their cell phones, and the landline was dead. With Nick too weak to stand, Sharon, Adam, and the others knew they had to get him out to the car, but the task proved incredibly difficult under the circumstances. On a nearby road, Sienna Bacall was heading toward the gas station when she noticed Matt's parked vehicle. Acting quickly, she climbed into the passenger seat, catching him off guard. A heated confrontation followed as Sienna discovered his plan through the security camera feed. Desperate to stop him, Sienna pleaded with Matt to reconsider. She even proposed that they could leave everything behind and start fresh together, revealing that Victor had transferred most of his assets into her name, except for the club. However, Matt remained unconvinced, believing Sienna was only trying to protect someone else. Ignoring her pleas, Matt pressed the detonator. Moments later, the gas station erupted into flames, lighting up the desert sky in a shocking and destructive blast. As the fire raged in the distance, Sienna feared the worst, but upcoming developments suggest she may soon receive news that offers a glimmer of relief. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.